All right, we've got the UFC Reebok deal. Now, this is something that has been in the news a lot. Like in any MMA news, they've been talking about this a lot. And I listened to a little bit of it, but I don't really have an opinion on it. Because I don't really care. I heard like Brendan Schaub complaining, oh, I used to make this much from my sponsors, now I don't have sponsors. And, I mean, I guess I can't say that I don't care. I really don't find it that interesting. I mean, that's like, how do you expect me to feel sorry for somebody that's, like Nick Diaz used to complain about, he's not getting paid. And then I looked it up one day, and he had just made like $200,000. $200,000 for one of his fights in Strikeforce. So, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, if you were to say, hey, should Nick Diaz get $500,000? I'd say, yeah, sure. But how am I supposed to feel sorry for you? 200 grand, that's a lot more money than I'm making. I mean, yeah, for fighting, you could die, I understand that, but I watch fights on YouTube that two people are fighting in the backyard for free. So, I don't think they're making any money or a very small amount. So, you know, I really haven't thought too much about it. But let me tell you this. They fired one of the guys, and I knew his name, and I already forgot his name, but you've seen him all the time, you know, Vaselining the guy's eyes before fights. And they fired him because something involving the Reebok deal. He said he didn't like it, or it was costing him money, and he's not even a fighter. So apparently you can't even state the facts. You have to be like, ooh, it's great. And so, I don't know, that's kind of unfortunate to see that, but that's corporate America. But man, I gotta tell you what, man, when you have people getting fired over something, and you know, people that we like these people. I've watched these people for years, and you know, it's like, man, I don't know, man. It just really, can that be good for business? I mean, I saw somebody with a Reebok t-shirt just walking down the street, and I was like this. Just subconsciously, like I said, I didn't think that I even cared. Just subconsciously, I was like, ugh, Reebok. I mean, guys, would you go buy Reebok now if you're a fan of the UFC? I mean, probably not. Would you show up to a UFC event with like a Reebok hat? No. I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, it's just a really negative. I don't know all the ins and outs of the deal, and because it's not costing me any money, so I don't really have an opinion on it. But man, I don't know, man. It's just my thoughts on this whole thing is just like, man, it just seems like a really negative thing to have out there. I mean, whatever they're making in profit off it, you're going to lose in profit. I mean, are they going to lose that much? I don't know, but if it makes people, hey, anything out there that makes people hate your brand, that can't be good. How can that be good? I mean, it's going to be hard to rebound from something like that. You know, like in firearms, Ruger, they make pretty cool guns, but Bill Ruger, back when he was, he's not even alive anymore. The guy has passed on, but he was like against like civilians owning assault weapons. You know, it's like they weren't even assault rifles; they're just semi-automatic rifles. But he was like, oh, we don't want civilians to own this. Something involving that, and people really disliked. Don't quote me on all that. I don't know all the ins and outs. But I know a lot of people dislike Ruger and Bill Ruger because of that. And then to this day, they don't like Ruger. Just because they associate it with Bill Ruger, who's not even alive anymore. So that's just an example. So if you're Reebok or the UFC, I mean, why would you want to throw something out that's, you know, it's one thing to have something that a little bit people dislike, but man, when something's a backlash to where people are losing their jobs, and I mean, people are never going to forget this. Like, they're not. It's not like all of a sudden, I mean, if you're Reebok, I mean, you'd think you would want to have a really good image, and that your image would be more important than anything. More important than money, because ultimately, maybe they're making more money, like for the next few years or something, or off of a deal. But in the grand scheme of things, they're not going to make any more. You're not going to make any more money if you tarnish the image of your company or brand, and that's what they're doing. And that's my thoughts on that. And I'll see you later. You guys see any color in that camera? It's supposed to be picking up a little bit of blue. All right, I'll see you.